I don't think people understand the evolution of terms and shit like that. Like even the term of a mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's taken on a different meaning. I feel like in the beginning, now, and you tell me if I'm right or left, a mixtape was a tape that a DJ would make and it would just have a mixture of hot songs on it. Like it wasn't necessarily like a bunch of features with all these MCs and all that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the hottest songs off of a bunch of albums and this DJ's taste of what basically he thinks is live, and he would
Mm-hmm.
present that to you, and it would be the such and such mixtape. And as time went on, it seemed like a mixtape turned into like, all right, it's this artist. It's an artist theme type of thing. So they would still mix in other people's shit, but like you would hear like unreleased songs from a certain artist type of thing. Like it turned into more of an artist, like the rapper's tool more than the DJ's tool.
Yeah.
Am I
No, you're on the right track. You're on the right track.
I feel like morphed kind of in some way. So what
and,
kind of mixtape was this first one?
okay. And what you said was interesting, and I'm gonna touch on that. Some people might not like it, but in the beginning, you had categories of mixtapes. You had brothers that, because remember, you had the blend mixtapes. You know, Ron G had blends.
Right.
Double R, G-Bo the Pro. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of DJs would do blend tape. I did blend tapes too as well, because that was for people that like to hear hip hop artists or R&B artists over hip hop beats or old beats or whatever. Then you had people that just wanted to hear the new records or what new bangers that's out, whatever, of all different artists. Then you had cool out mode with cats used to like the all slow mixtapes.
Right.
All slow jams. You know what I'm saying?
That's the vibe.
Then you had cats that wanted the old school classic joints. You know what I'm saying? So it was all different mixes that was on cassettes, which a lot of people, it's crazy. A lot of millennials don't even know what that.
Then there was the conscious tapes. There was the gangster tapes. There was
exactly
different tapes.
Yeah. So anything that you put on a cassette, 60 minutes most of the time, but it could have been 90. 120, we ain't rocked that too tough because it was so thin from the length. Those were pop easy. So we ain't really rock with the 120s too tough. Those is mixtapes. Now, down the line, the hosting of the mixtapes started. I might have been one of the first to do it. I don't want to claim I was the first, but I know I was one of. You know what I'm saying? That's where I would take all the hot records out at the time. And if Busta Rhymes had an album coming out, I would have Busta introduce about 3 or 4 joints that I put of his on the tape and do a freestyle in the beginning of the tape. So I'd be like, okay, this joint is hosted by Busta Rhymes because I'm putting the majority of the records from him on here, like 4 or 5 joints, and he's doing a freestyle on top of it. And plus he's giving me little drops to put in between shit in there. So that was
and now you're putting this shit on the artwork and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an artist hosting the mixtape. Let me tell you where the shit got greasy. When the artists start eliminating the DJ. Mixtape was a DJ thing.
Talk to them.
And start doing their own mixtape. Motherfucker, they ain't no mixtape. That's an album, nigga. If you eliminate the DJ from that project and you put a bunch of your records on it, it's an album.
Right.
It's an album. If you put 12 or more songs on there of you, it's not a mixtape.
And there's no other people on. It's not like a mixture of other songs on. It's just you now.
It's an album.
All you. It's an album, but you're saying it's not an album.
It's a mixtape. Oh, because it might be some throwaway songs, or it might be some freestyles, or whatever. All right, cool. I'll give y'all that. We can still go with that. All right, I'm gonna let y'all get away with that if you want to do that. Right. But this is where it gets even nastier. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
When niggas say, "Oh, it's just a mixtape," but that mixtape starts taking off crazy, then they go next week, "My album is going crazy, y'all." You know what I'm saying? This is the biggest. Yo, my album is never.
Right.
Hold
And
up,
then,
bro.
yeah. Hold up. It wasn't just a mixtape. Now it's an
Yeah,
album.
it's for what situation, whether if it's not doing too good, it's a mixtape.
Right. That's
Blowing
okay.
up, it's an album. So, but at the end of the day, the mixtape thing derived from the DJ. It was always a DJ thing. When you eliminate the DJ, or it kind of gets a little. You don't even let a DJ put it together, mix the motherfucker. Like fuck it, it's all about shit. But I'm gonna get Superstar J to mix the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Or SNS to mix it. Like y'all don't even do that. Like so, it's just like I call it contributing to the death of the DJ. And we've been dealing with that shit for decades now.
I ain't gonna lie, the death of the DJ is what had me start rhyming. You know what I mean? Like I started as a DJ. Like I had my little crew. You was KG, I was KD. You know what I mean? And fucking KD and the Ever Loving 3, that was my crew. You know what I mean? We was up in Westchester though. You know what I mean? My niggas is from Mount Vernon that rhymed, and I was from New Rochelle. That was like fucking having some Crip niggas with a blood DJ or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it was almost unheard of for New Rochelle niggas and Mount Vernon niggas to be collaborating together like that, but we was doing it.
Yeah.
And we had some nice shit and we was dope. But then the DJ started getting pushed in the back, like, you know what I mean? And now me being the vain type of nigga that I was, I was like, oh no, nobody puts Baby in the corner. Fuck that. If the DJ is getting pushed back, like, because at one point I started DJing and MCing at the same time. Like I'm telling you, I never seen nobody did. I seen Kid Capri do this later, but I'm telling you, I used to have a mic stand and I was fucking rhyming and going and DJing and shit at the same fucking time. Like, and I'm telling you, I never seen nobody do this, and I was like 15 doing it. But I'm doing it in my crib and all this type of shit. But anyway, long story short, when the DJ got pushed in the back, I said, oh no, I need to get more, you know what I mean? In the front. I need
front line.
I'm helping to write these niggas routines anyway. Let me fucking start rhyming and shit like that.
And see, the nastiest part about it is that I watched this shit happen. Like, if you remember early on, Run DMC had Rest in Peace Jam Master J. LL Cool J had Cut Creator. You understand what I'm saying? Like KRS-One had Scott LaRock. Rest in peace. Eric B. and Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Like every
they had their own song, like on the album, like
exactly
scratch and all this type of shit, like JAY. It was like come on, like they used to have whole songs revolving around the DJ. What happened to that?
Man, after that, slowly but surely, DJ started to diminish, where they start using the DAT tapes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like the DAT tape. So they start having a DJ acting like he DJing in the back.
But he ain't doing shit.
He's not. Then after the DAT came the instant replay.
Right. Well, hang on though. In defense of the DAT, right? Because I'm not even gonna lie, like we was guilty of that bullshit. And I listen, I wasn't happy about it because I came from that DJ background. But the reasoning behind using the DAT is, I don't know if you ever been to a show, I'm sure you have back in the days, where it's so fucking crazy. The niggas is jumping down. There's no way that the
records jump. No, I get it.
Play. Like, you know what I mean? Like you try, and these niggas is going so crazy. The shit is just skipping off the record. You asking them, you asking your crowd to calm down, like so that the record could play type of shit. And so going through that a few times will have you like, well, here's the new technology. It don't skip. People can go and the DJ can't fuck up. You know what I mean? So you felt like, it was a fuck up proof way, and yeah. But it didn't take away the power of the DJ.
But then after that, it went to the instant replay machine. Okay?
What is that exactly?
So now that's where the DJ is just hitting the button. There's no DJ involved. Like, boom. Once I get to the end of the song, hit that explosion, boom. Right? I'm going to talk something, But then once you hear me say, let's
Right.
go,
Press
hit
play.
this button, bang. Okay.
Right.
So now it's no DJ involved. It's button hitting. Now after the instant,
Anybody can do that. So
do
now
that.
if the DJ's not there, you can have the promoter do that. You can have almost anybody.
So boom. So of course now the DJ's taking a major pay cut. Okay, major.
I don't need you.
So now after that,
do this.
Shit. Once the Serato came out, my nigga, you know, woof, over with. I remember I seen. And look, I'm not a hater. Anybody that can find a way to get money, whatever, that's them. But I remember seeing how much Paris Hilton was getting paid to DJ an event.
Right.
And
a broad decided to start DJing a couple years ago, or whatever. You got niggas that's been DJing 20 some odd years, and y'all arguing about giving a nigga $3,000 or some shit.
Exactly. Like, exactly.
But and you want to give this bitch 100,000 to DJ.
And so I'm looking like, this is what happens when you make this technology that eliminates the true talent and art form. Because now, guess what? They no longer need the DJ. They don't need them no more. Like, even when it comes to the club, I remember, I'd never forget, I came in the Players Club one time. That's, you know, about a good 10 years ago. I came to see the owner because, you know, I had an event going on and I just wanted to build with him before, you know, the event. And I just hear some horrible foolishness going on in the background, like all kind of scraping and dragging. And I'm like, yo, who's DJ? Like, what the hell is that? They said Leslie. I said, Leslie? What the fuck he doing? That's the owner. He was back there practicing. So when I get over there, I'm like, what you doing? He said, oh man, K, like, I mean, some nights, you know, it'd be, if it's slow, say it's really, really slow or whatever, like, shit, I play music myself. I love music. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, we done. Like, right there, I was like, we done, man.
Think about when the iPod came out. I remember going to like a club or some shit like that and finding out that the whole shit was being powered from a fucking iPod playlist. They were playing a playlist in like a club or some shit like that. Like the shit was crazy.
No, a lot of clubs do that too.
Crazy.
They do that. It's like, you got to just understand. And then let's not even talk about the music that's being played in the clubs now. 30 records have the same beat, same tempo, same sounds, same format of hooks.
Yeah.
So you could just have an iPod playing for about 2 hours, and you never know whether somebody's in that booth or not playing music.
Facts.
So when I say death of the DJ, I've seen it come all the way, you know, when they start replacing DJs with the DATs, which you said it was a valid excuse. But then after that, I guess they was like, yeah, well, you know, we can start shortening that bag a little something. I'm the superstar, because remember, the DJ is the sole controller of the culture. It was off our backbone that the culture was structured. Like, the DJ came first. The DJ cut his mic on in the park and let the MCs early in the days do their thing. How many MCs really came to the park back in the days with their own mic? Wasn't happening. You understand what I'm saying?
The
DJ was the sole controller. Not saying that the MC did not play their part, but then somehow it flipped to when the MC got ahead, it said, fuck the DJ.
Right.
You understand?
And what's crazy is, right, you know, the DJ also perpetuated the MC by, there was a time when DJs actually broke records. Remember that?
Of course.
Remember that when they wasn't told what to fucking play, when they listened to a record and they was like, yo, I'm feeling this. Like, I remember back in the days when we first came out, you could go up to any one of these radio stations if you had a relationship with the DJ. I'm talking Red Alert, fucking Molly Mall, You could have just got your acetate pressed,
Tell
right?
them what acetate is, bro. They don't know.
Acetate, okay, right. Acetate is like a test pressing of a record. It's not fully wax. It's on something that's called acetate. So it's something that you can play a few times, but you can't play it as many times as a real record, as a wax record. But it's a test pressing of your record, and you use that when you first, back in the days when they were pressing up wax. So you'd get the acetate of your record and run it over to fucking Red Alert or Molly Marl, one of these dudes. You know what I mean? They'd fucking put it on, listen to it real quick while the show's going on. They're live on the air and they'll listen to it real quick. And if they liked it, yo, you're hearing your shit play on the radio by the time you get back downstairs to the car.
Right.
That's the type of shit that was going on back in the days. Like you'd have a direct line and the DJ, and when that happened, they was either making you or breaking you. You know what I mean? Like once that record spun, it was like, yo, they either fucking with it or they not fucking with it. And we was fortunate. People like Clark Kent broke our shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, Red Alerts and all of those, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We got our shit played like that. It was a beautiful thing.